And the next topic I did want to talk about was on the defensive side of the ball. Are there any positional battles you're looking at there specifically?
Yeah, really, I would say cornerback. That's probably the main one. You have Emmanuel Moseley there, and I remember at the end of last year, them, electing to play Akella Witherspoon over Moseley on the outside when Moseley came back, and he was healthy enough to play special teams, but they didn't play him on the outside. And I, at the very least, thought he'd play in the slot because he's somebody that definitely has nickel experience with the 49ers. He came in and they cross-trained him at both spots, and he was a guy that kind of would fill in that area. But nope, they played Dante Johnson instead. So that was something that was very intriguing to me, and they kind of let me know, like, how much do they believe in this guy? How much do they feel like he's the long-term starter moving forward? So I definitely think it'll be tough for any rookie, whether it's Ambry Thomas or Deommodore Lenoir, to come in and unseat Moseley in that spot. But I could see a scenario where they say, hey, this is an open competition at the cornerback spot. Moseley, if you do well, obviously it's your job to lose, but you do have these young rookies who are going to be hungry, and if they play well, then you can start to see maybe Moseley start getting reps limited. So that's something there where I don't know how much of a battle it is, but I can see it being something that can potentially play out as a cornerback battle.
So I think one of the more worrisome positions I would say is cornerback. I've been speaking about it all off season. I worry about the 49ers investments in the cornerback long term, and they just don't have a lot of players signed at that position for the next 2-3 years. But I guess the question I would have is, with the new DeMeco Ryans defense, which, listen, we don't know exactly what it's going to look like. We haven't seen it yet. But how do you think he's going to utilize cornerbacks, and what kind of pressure do you think he's going to put on those guys?
It's when you hear him talk about it, and he's, we want to be fast, physical, aggressive. We want to be more aggressive, all those things. And it's like, man, every defensive coordinator says that at the introductory meeting or, press conference or whatnot. But I think there is something to that. I mean, I remember hearing it was Fred Warner. I was listening to him on Mayoko's podcast, and he alluded to that, a different style of being aggressive. Kyle Shanahan alluded to it. And it's not to say that Robert Saleh wasn't aggressive, but he was a little bit conservative in a way that he wanted to call defense. Now, when you lose all your pass rushers, obviously you have to blitz more. So I would assume that the blitz numbers were much higher in 2020 than they were in 2019 and before that. But he wants to kind of rush forward, sit back. I mean, we've seen teams be successful with doing it that way. 49ers were successful doing that. One of the best defenses ever, in 2019 playing that way. But it sounds like DeMeco Ryans wants to have, more aggressive style. So whether he incorporates more man coverage, seems like they're starting to switch over to a little bit more cover 4 quarters. 49ers and the Rams were like two of the highest teams in the sense of running quarters on early downs in the entire NFL. So that was something I was interested. Maybe going away from that traditional cover 3 or Seattle scheme 3, where it's kind of like a fire zone that a lot of people are used to seeing the 49ers run. So I'm interested to see if DeMeco Ryans even goes a little bit further away from that, because that was something that was kind of, this is the 49ers. But it seems like offenses are kind of, I don't want to say figuring it out, but they're understanding exactly what guys' rules are and how to attack those rules now. And it's up to the 49ers to kind of make that adjustment.